If you're struggling to grow your e-commerce store, I've got a little bit of a story to share with you. I've had my e-commerce store for about a year now, and the growth was unbelievably slow for a very, very long time. We tested different offers in the market, we tried different ads, we tried different emails. I went through a very short period where I was unbelievably close to giving it all up and just moving on to the next thing. But I decided to stick it out, and I'm so glad I did, because in January we did about 350,000 Rand in sales, and in February this year, 2025, we did 1.2 million Rand in sales. So that's about a 350 to 400% increase in 30 days. And in this video, I want to explain to you exactly what I did to make that happen. So we moved upstairs to my office because my dogs decided that now was the time for them to play fight, so you wouldn't have been able to hear me at all. So getting back to the story, I just wanted to give you a little bit of backstory so you understand how we landed up at that massive 400% growth in 30 days. Because remember, we've run this for an entire year and it has been anything but smooth sailing. I can't even explain to you how hard it has been, and way harder than I thought it would ever be, to be 100% honest with you. You know, I think this e-com world and a lot of these e-com gurus talk like you can just make $20,000 in 30 days and this and that, and I'm not saying it's not possible. I'm just saying that wasn't my experience, and my experience has been unbelievably challenging financially, mentally, emotionally. It's been a serious roller coaster ride. So what I want to go through is just a little bit of the backstory so you understand what happened. So we have a business in the fragrance space, and there are a few competitors in the market that are doing really well, and it just seemed like there was space for another competitor in the space. So I jumped in, and I was hoping to just jump in and for things to absolutely explode. And for the first kind of 3 to 4 months, it was basically just friends and family that purchased from us. And that was quite a tough pill to swallow, because I think I got very stuck into this whole idea that I'm gonna put stuff out there and everyone's just gonna buy it because that's what you see all over YouTube. So when that happened, I was pretty underwhelmed, if I had to call it that. So I started there, and we went through a few iterations of the product and product development, and we changed around the offer. And there were two main things that we did over the last 4 or 5 months, I would say, that really started to turn this business around. And I want to share those two things with you right now. So I believe that there's been two things that have significantly changed the game for this business. And those two things are, number one, offer, and number two, profit margin. Now, I know that sounds a little bit cliched. Everyone talks about that you need to have a great offer and you have to have great profit margins. I mean, I'm one of the people that talks about this as well. I've got the same book that everyone else has from Alex Hormozi, $100 million offers, and I've read it 5-6 times. But I want to explain to you my view and my thoughts as to why I believe these two things have been the single biggest levers that we've been able to pull to grow by 400%, by 800,000-900,000 Rand in 30 days. So the first thing, let's talk about offers. So in Alex Hormozi's book, he talks about make an offer so good people feel stupid saying no. Now, that's great, and if you can do that, that works really well. But for a lot of people, they find that quite hard. Now, the reason I want to talk about these two things somewhat together is because both of them actually connect pretty well when you start to understand it. So let's get into the offer side of things. So our main offer is a buy one, get one free. Now, the only way we're able to do that is because we have a healthy profit margin. When someone is purchasing something, for example, if someone sees a good price, it's a good deal, they're getting 2 for the price of 1, that seems like an unbelievable offer. And it is a great offer, and that's why we've grown the way we have. And we have tested other offers in the market. We've tested numerous offers, and the majority of them, well, actually I lie. Every single one of them has failed, because in the market that we're in, that is the strongest offer. And when we try to move away from that offer, our sales decreased significantly. So we're early enough in this game that we were able to move back to the buy one, get one free offer without any interruption, if you could call it that, with regards to the market and our customers. So that offer alone sells itself. So we don't have to push that offer down people's throats and trying to get them to understand the value, because the value is already there. The offer of a buy one, get one free on these products, that is the main driver of sales. People see that and immediately they think it's a great deal, so people go through to the site and they purchase a lot. Now, when I speak about how both of those things, when it comes to an offer and your profit margin, the reason I feel that those two are so closely related is because you can only make a very, very good and strong offer if you have healthy profit margins. I mean, you can make a strong offer without healthy profit margins, but you're then going to be sacrificing a lot of your profit margin. And I believe that the majority of the people that are watching this video are probably not watching this because they're running a charity or something like that. Like, if you are, that's cool. But I want you to understand that the single biggest thing that has allowed us to create such a strong offer is to have a healthy profit margin. Now, let's talk about profit in another way. Okay, so we've spoken about offers, and creating a very strong offer for your product is without a doubt the most important thing you can do. You can have the most amazing product, all the product development, it looks amazing, but if the offer that you put out there to the market does not resonate with people, no one's going to buy it. And that's not a reflection on your product, that's just a reflection on your offer in this current market, and people just don't find that attractive. And sometimes that can be quite a hard pill to swallow, but the sooner you swallow that pill, the sooner you can move forwards and try and test a new offer that will most probably work far better than the one that you're currently running. Okay, so let's talk more about profit margin. Now, because you have more profit at the end of the month, what you can do with that is you can spend more of that on advertising. Now, the biggest mistake that I've seen a lot of people do and a lot of people make is they make R1 million in sales, they make 100,000 Rand in profits, and they then go and spend that 100,000 Rand on whatever it is they want to spend that on that has no direct relation to sales in the business whatsoever. So what we've done and what we found has worked really well is, because we have such good profit margins, we're able to double down on our ad spend every single month. So to date, and we've now run this business for, it's pretty much now, it's about 12 months. And to date, we haven't taken 1 cent out of the business for any sort of personal use at all. Okay, not 1 cent. I've not pulled a salary. My business partner has not pulled a salary. The only salaries we pay are the staff that work for us because we need that staff to fulfill the orders that we currently have. But to date, we have not pulled a single cent from that business. And it's not because we can't. I want you to understand that. It's a very important point. It's not because we can't. It's because we understand the value of doubling down on that ad spend and that investment that we put back into the business that allows us to grow at that rate. So if we go back to this January to February and that 400% growth that we had, you can see what happened is we finally got back to a space where our offer was working really well, because when we changed offers, there was like a little bit of kind of turbulence, if you had to call it that. So when we moved back to the new offer, we just allowed that to stabilize. December was a bit of a slow month. January was a lot busier than we actually thought it would be. And then February, we were in a place where we were able to double down on staff, double down on our ad spend, and actually move into a 400 square meter warehouse, which is where we are now. And we wouldn't have been able to do that if, number one, we didn't have a strong offer. Number two, we didn't have healthy profit margins. And number three, which is the most important part of this whole video, is that when your business starts to make profit, if you don't have to take money out of that business to pay your rent or to put food on the table, leave that money inside the business and put it back into scaling your team, increasing your ad spend. If you have to hire an expert to help you with something, or a graphic designer, or you want to level up your game in whatever you're doing inside of your business, keep that money there for that until you get to a point where you're so stable and you're doing so well that even if you do pull some money out of the business and you pay yourself a salary, it has no direct impact on the sales that your business does on a monthly basis. I think the main point around this video that I want to really try and get across to you is the fact that this has been a really, really tough journey, and I definitely underestimated how hard it would be. But in a lot of the opportunities I've had in the past, and to be honest with you, 99% of them have never worked, because I've never worked this hard at something in my entire life. I was just not being smart with how I ran these businesses, and I'm a bit of a late bloomer. I'm 34 years old, and this is one of the main kind of big successes that I've had in my life. I think the biggest lesson I've learned is that you need to think a little bit more and a little bit further than just what's happening right now. So if you make R1 million this month and you see 200,000 Rand of profit in the bank account, you got to start thinking about what can you do with that money to turn that R1 million into 1.2 million Rand, 1.5 million Rand, 2 million Rand. Because if you don't do that, you're going to do another month of another R1 million. And something that I've learned, which is quite a harsh pill to swallow, is that if you don't do this with your business, your competitors will. And when they do it, they are going to absolutely squash you. And I know that might sound like quite a harsh thing to say, and I don't mean it to come around it as a harsh thing, but it's the truth. If you want to grow something really big, and you want something to have value, and you want to be able to create something that you're unbelievably proud of, you have to really lengthen your time horizon and just understand that these things are not built overnight, and you will get there. You just have to be patient and understand. A quick point on patience: I'm not a patient person. Okay, I'm the least patient person on earth. So this has been an unbelievably hard process for me, but now I understand it. So a year down the line, I'm now starting to slowly understand why we've created this business like we have. And that's basically what I wanted to share with you guys today. I'm quite looking forward to this new journey on YouTube. There's quite a lot I want to start creating. I want to start documenting my journey quite a lot with regards to growing this business and another e-com business that I'm launching in about a month, which I will share with you guys in the next video or two. So I'm really excited to share that with you. But apart from that, I hope you enjoyed that. If you have any questions or comments, pop them in the comments below, and I will see you in the next one.